Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing the top 5 items from your top 5 brands. I'm 99% sure Michelle Wong was the one who created this video idea, so I'll make sure I have her original video link down below. I was checking on her channel a couple days ago and it seems like she's done a couple versions of this video, but I will have the first one linked down below. Before we get started, don't forget I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for you guys, and lately I've been trying to upload more. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited, you want to hear about my top 5 brands, but then my top 5 products from those 5 brands, then let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with Colourpop. First, I don't think any of the brands are going to be a surprise, and I don't think really any of the products from these brands are going to be a surprise either. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet because I've talked about a lot of these products before on my channel in previous videos. So again, I'm going to start off with Colourpop. The first thing, you've heard me rave about this a million times, one of my favorite products from them is their Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I am almost done with mine. I will say I haven't been reaching for this very often because I'm trying to finish up my Smashbox Primerizer primer. I couldn't think of the word, but it is like over 2 years old, so I'm just trying to finish that one up. So I haven't been reaching for this too much, but it is amazing hydrating primer. It just makes my makeup look so beautiful, and it's hydrating without being oily or greasy or anything like that. In conjunction with that, I also really love their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I have the shade Fair 30N. This is beautiful. It says it's a more medium coverage. However, I get pretty full coverage from it. I love full coverage foundations, and this definitely gives me all the coverage that I need. It wears absolutely incredible on my skin. It just blends in so nicely. It never looks dry or patchy or cakey. Wears nicely all day, doesn't break up or really anything. It gets kind of maybe a little bit oily by the end of the day, but it is just one of my favorite foundations, and I'm like 99% sure this one is almost gone. And you better believe when it is gone, I am definitely going to be repurchasing it. Another thing from Colourpop, this might be a little bit of a surprise because I haven't talked about it too much, but it is their What's Your Sign Cream Lipstick. I'm not gonna lie, I probably should have checked before this if they even make this lipstick formula anymore. I have no idea. I feel like I can't keep up with Colourpop of what they still have, what they don't. But this was in collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and it is such a beautiful like nude brown lipstick. I love it. They definitely, I know for sure, don't make this shade anymore. However, Appy from them is a very comparable shade. They are almost similar. So here we have What's Your Sign and here we have Appy. And last time I checked, Appy was still available. I have no idea if it still is. If it is, I will link it down below for you, but it's just a good like neutral brown tone lipstick. These are a very comfortable formula as well. So I'm hoping they still make Appy, but if not, I'm so sorry for mentioning it. Then I also love their Cool BFF lip liner. I have recently got into lip liners a ton, and everyone raves about their lip liners, Colourpop lip liners, that they are amazing quality, they wear nicely, they last all day long, they're creamy but not too creamy but not too stiff, all of the above. And every good thing that anyone has ever said about Colourpop's liners, I 100% agree with. Let me do a swatch for you. So here we have Cool BFF. I also have BFF, but like, I don't know, there's something special about Cool BFF. It is just a beautiful cool tone taupey brown shade that goes with a ton of my lipsticks, and I've been wearing this nonstop. I have it on today with Charlotte Tilbury, Kim KW, and then Marc Jacobs like Sugar lip gloss on top. But this is a winner. And then the 5th and final product from Colourpop. You knew this was coming. You knew this was coming. Colourpop That's Taupe. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's lovely. I love this palette. I will always rave about it. You need it in your life. If you don't have it, you don't need it. That's a lie. But you really, it's beautiful. I love it. Anyways, the next brand we have is Natasha Denona. I really just love her brand and a lot of different items from her brand. Obviously, her eyeshadow palettes are amazing, and I am going to talk about 2 of them. The first one is the Mini Retro palette. I just love this palette. I have talked about it a million times on my channel, but the shades are just unique and stunning and beautiful, and I myself probably wouldn't have thought to pair these 5 shades together, but they just go together so nicely, and I can make such a beautiful cohesive look anytime I use this. And a lot of the times I use all 5 shades, which is kind of saying something. I know this is a smaller palette, but even with smaller palettes, it can be kind of hard to incorporate every single shade, and I normally do with this palette. It is just amazing colors, amazing quality. And then the second eyeshadow palette I have is the Love palette. I just think this is such a beautiful palette. I have been asked by one of my subscribers to do a 1 week 1 palette with this. Please let me know down below if that is something you'd want to see. It's just an older palette, so I wasn't sure if you guys would want to see a 1 week 1 palette with it, but again, let me know down below, please. But this palette is just stunning. Again, just like the mini retro, the quality is amazing. The shades are beautiful. You can get a lot of different looks. You can go more like silvery dark, you can go purple, you can go pinks, reds, golds. You have a ton of different options with this palette, and every time I use it I love my look. But also Natasha Denona has a lot of other really great products that aren't eyeshadow palettes. For one, her lip liners are really nice. This is the only one that I own, but I've been using it quite a lot recently and I've been very impressed with it. And this is the shade NB2 Noah, and it's just like a really beautiful, just deep, neutrally but a little on the warm side bronzy brown shade. I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but her lip liners, the formula is really nice, kind of like the Colourpop ones. They glide on very beautifully. They don't tug at your lips. They last a really long time throughout the day, and I definitely want to pick up more shades of this. Also, her lipstick formula is amazing. I have 2 shades in this. I have Liron, I believe, and then this one is Beatrice. I wanted to talk about this one because I just clearly love this shade. It is half gone. I don't know, I had to smell it. It smells good. It smells like cupcakes. But I love this Beatrice shade. I've had it for a while, and it is just such a beautiful, like mauvey, rosy, pretty shade. And this formula is very comfortable to wear. It isn't drying at all. I don't know exactly what the finish of this claims to be, but it almost looks like a matte lipstick, but is comfortable like a creamy lipstick, but stays on for a really long time and wears off really nicely on your lips. And again, I have 2 shades, but I definitely want more, and this Beatrice shade is just stunning. And the last thing from Natasha Denona is her Super Glow highlights. So I've actually had this highlight for a while, and I used to really love it, but I just hadn't been reaching for it too often here recently. But I pulled it out and used it today, and it is such a beautiful glow. There's just something really nice about this highlight. The formula is a little odd. It's not putty. It's not putty at all, but it's almost like a wet powder. It's very interesting. But if you just buff it into your skin, look at that shine and glow it gives. It's like if you want people to see you from space, they will be able to see you from space with this highlight. It is just so stunning. I don't know. I definitely need to reach for this more. These are pretty expensive. I'm 99% sure I got mine on sale on her website, but I think they're like $30-something. However, the pan is very large and it'll last you a very long time. And it's so good. It's so good. The third brand I want to talk about is e.l.f. Cosmetics. Oh, I love e.l.f. so much. Not everything is a hit for me, I'm not gonna lie. Their Mint Melt collection was kind of a dud. Their like Lash It Loud mascara I did not love like at all. But there are a lot of really good goodies from e.l.f. and they're so affordable. So the first one I want to highlight is their e.l.f. like airbrush stipple brush, I believe it's called. Airbrush stipple, and it's like their 105 brush. I have 2 of these. As you can see, I use one for cream bronzer and one for cream blush. It just distributes the product in such a beautiful way. It doesn't really make any products patchy. It doesn't pick up my foundation. It's a perfect size and density to just pat right onto your cheeks and apply your bronzer and blush. I just love this brush. I have 2 for a reason, and if I ever lost these or they broke or anything like that, I would run out to repurchase them. Also from e.l.f., I really love their Camo Concealer. I know it's been around for a really long time, and it's definitely like not a new product at all, but I have been through 1 complete tube of this shade, which is Light Peach, and I repurchased it. And then I have Fair Rose, I believe, and then Medium Peach as well. It's only $6, so it's really affordable. I know a lot of people have an issue with this concealer being dry on their under eyes, and I will say I have to be a little careful. It does get a little tiny bit dry under my eyes as well. I know they have the hydrating formula, but I can't seem to find a shade in that formulation that is light enough for me. It is a really thick concealer, like very thick, so I understand why it could be drying. It does crease on me a little bit, but every concealer does, so I don't really fault the Camo Concealer for it, but it's so good. Also from e.l.f., this is a newer product, however, it has blown me out of the water and I just love it, and it is their new putty bronzer. Specifically, I wanted to highlight the shade Tan Lines. It's the more warm tone one of the 2 I bought. I also have Feeling Shady, and it is very cool tone, which is nice for like a contour. I just don't contour very often, but this tan line shade is just very warm, but in like a neutral undertone. It's not too orangey or anything like that on my skin tone, and it is just beautiful. These blend in effortlessly. I will just take my airbrush stipple brush, go right into it, pat a little bit off on my hand, and then just stipple it into my skin. They are definitely not insanely pigmented right off the bat, which I think is a good thing because it's not overpowering or overwhelming. You don't like put it on your face and then you have like a stripe of bronzer and you don't know what to do with it. And it wears nicely too. It doesn't fade off or anything like that. So again, these are a newer product, but I've just been really loving this. Another product from e.l.f. that I love is their primer infused blushes. I have 2 of them, but I wanted to highlight this shade, which is Always Hazy. The shade is just a beautiful bronzy tone blush. It almost like reminds me a little bit of a bronzer, but it has a little bit more of that rosy tone, so it's not bronzer. Like, you can tell the difference between my bronzer and my blush when I apply this. It does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but in like the best way possible. That was a terrible place to swatch this, but it just is so beautiful. This glow on your cheeks just makes you look alive, if that makes any sense. And because these are primer infused, this lasts all day long. I was obsessed with this earlier in the year. I definitely think I'm going to get more use out of it once fall and winter time comes back around, because this is like a very warm tone, dark blush, if that makes sense. And right now I'm trying to go for more like pinks and purples and like lighter tone blushes during the summer, but oh, so good. And then the last product I want to highlight from e.l.f. is kind of an interesting product, but it is their Line and Define eye tapes. These suckers are so good, and they're only like $2. I just peel one off and I end up cutting it in half because if I keep it the full waist, it's just too long on my eyes. And it's really great for getting like a super sharp and defined eye look, either with eyeshadow or eyeliner, anything like that. And what I like about these is they're not insanely sticky to where they hurt to pull off, but they're sticky enough to like stay in place and stay on your eye while you're applying your eyeshadow. You guys have seen me use these in a bunch of Get Ready With Me's. I will always repurchase these. They are so good. The next brand I want to talk about is Huda Beauty. I just really like a lot of their products. I have had her foundation in the past and really loved it and used it completely up. Her eyeshadow formula is really amazing, and I've recently been like dabbling into other products from her, and I'm pretty much impressed with almost everything I try. The first thing I want to talk about is their Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. This is so good. I know it doesn't look like I've used very much of it. Again, I'm trying to really focus on my primerizer, but when I use this, my makeup just applies so beautifully, and it is a nice hydrating formula without being oily or greasy or anything like that. It's a very interesting formula. Like, water jelly is exactly the perfect definition or description of this product. It really is like water. It's so weird, and even when you're like rubbing it into your face, it looks and feels like water, but I like it. As you're rubbing it in, it feels just very hydrating and very cooling, and then once it is completely rubbed in, it just leaves a really nice like tack to your primer for your foundation to then go on top of. Next thing is her Easy Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder. So I want to talk about the shade Pound Cake. I also have Cupcake, and for the longest time I had just the Cupcake shade, and I didn't love that powder. I think it's just the shade on me, but then they sent me Pound Cake, and it is so much better. I will say this does have the heavy Huda Beauty scent that a lot of her products have. I know she's trying to go away from that, but this still has it in there. But this powder is very thick, but in a really good way. It's thick in the sense that you can just really lock in your makeup and set your makeup down, but it's not so thick that it looks cakey or it's drying or anything like that. I like that there's a mesh top on there, so that way you can't get a ton of product out and then you don't waste it. But like this powder is gonna last me for 17 years. I feel like I will never go through it. There's just like so much in here, and it really does just set my makeup down beautifully. It gives me like a matte finish, but not in like a drying way. I also have a couple eyeshadow palettes to talk about because her eyeshadow formula is top notch. The first one is the Nude Light Obsessions palette. I've had this for a while now, and it is just so good. If you can tell, I have quite a few dips and a bunch of these shimmers and even the couple of matte shades. Every time I use this palette, I love the way my eye look looks. You guys know I love pink eyeshadow, and there's just something so special about these tones. I can keep it really pink, or I can go a little more neutral brown toned. I've never ever one time been disappointed with this palette. I love it so, so much. And then the other one I want to talk about is the Mercury Retrograde palette. This is a stunning, stunning palette. I have a 1 week 1 palette on it. I can link down below for you in case you missed it. I put it up a while ago, but there's just something about all of these tones. It is a very colorful palette when you just glance at it, but you really do have a lot of versatility with it. There is a lot of neutral tones that you can use. This gold glitch shade right here is one of the most unique, stunning shades in my collection. Also this cosmic pink shade up here. And the mattes blend so nicely. They're pigmented without being too pigmented. The shimmers are so gorgeous. They are so, so gorgeous. They're not like hunky chunky. There is fallout, but I just use a glitter primer. And there's just something so special about this palette. And also my husband Mike surprised me and bought it for me, and he never buys me makeup. This is like literally the only makeup item he's ever bought me. So even when this is long gone or expired, I'm going to probably keep this forever. I just love it so much. And then the last product from Huda. You knew this was coming, didn't you? You knew it. It's her cream lipstick in the shade Empress. I'm just obsessed with this lipstick. I talked about it a million times. I've showed it in a bunch of Get Ready With Me's. It is just a beautiful, warm, nudie brownie nude shade on me. I love the cream formula. It's comfortable, it wears well, and it's just a stunning lipstick. I need to pick up more shades in this. My fifth and final brand I want to highlight is Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte, she is very bougie and she is expensive, but for the most part I do love a lot of her products. Some of them are not up to snuff as I maybe would like because it's a very expensive brand. But these 5 products here, I just really, really love. The first one, I'll go ahead and get it out of the way because I have just talked and talked and talked this product to death. And it is her airbrush bronzer. I have the shade 2 Medium. It is just a stunning bronzer. It goes on my face beautifully. The airbrush name really, really does describe this bronzer perfectly. It really is airbrush and flawless on your face. I love it. It's $55. It's expensive, but I really, really do think it's worth the money. And the compact is literally massive. It's as big as my face, so it'll last you absolutely forever. Another product from her I have raved about quite a few times on my channel, and it is her Beauty Light Wand in the shade Spotlight. I am so sorry I'm mentioning this because I know that these are sold out basically everywhere right now. I guess they went viral on TikTok and they've just been really hard to get, which really stinks because I want to try her contour wand. I have heard really good things about it, so I would love to try that, but it's sold out everywhere. So I'm sorry. Hopefully these will come back in stock very soon. I have the shade Spotlight, and it is just a really stunning highlight. Even though it's a cream, it's nice. It goes over powder. Like I can use this on a set face or not set face, and it just goes on beautifully and blends in and doesn't get like patchy or weird or anything like that over powder. And it is just, oh my goodness. My face looks wet in the best way possible whenever I use this. Also, her Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's a good one. It's a really good setting spray. I'm not gonna lie. I've been through one mini of it and then repurchased the full size, and I've been working my way through that slowly but surely. It's just sets your makeup down very beautifully. And what I like about it is it gives a little bit of sheen and glow to your skin, but not in like an oily, greasy way. It just really does like lock in your makeup and just makes your skin look beautiful. And I think it helps my makeup wear better throughout the day. It doesn't make it mask proof. I know a lot of people say that this setting spray makes their makeup mask proof, but this really is a good setting spray, and I really do think it helps my makeup wear very nicely. And then also Pillow Talk. I know this is like an OG product from Charlotte Tilbury that really kind of put her on the map, and everyone talks about it and everyone loves it, but for good reason. It's a great lipstick. The formula is stunning and it's very comfortable on lips, and this shade, at least on my skin tone, is very flattering. I know she expanded it and has like Pillow Talk Deep and Pillow Talk Intense, so hopefully it will work for other skin tones as well. I'm like almost done with this, and when I am done with it, I'll definitely repurchase it. It's a beautiful lipstick. And then the last product I want to talk about is actually newer to me, but it has really taken me by surprise, and I really, really, really like it. And it is her Brow Cheat Micro Precision Brow Pencil, and I have the shade Natural Brown. This was sent to me in PR, but when this is gone, I kind of can see myself repurchasing this. I mentioned this on my full face of Charlotte Tilbury. I can have that link down below for you. I put up a while ago with my friend Kelly from Beauty, but I used her brow products for the first time in that video. And I remember saying, I don't know how much these cost, but it's Charlotte Tilbury, so it's probably really bougie and expensive. I probably wouldn't repurchase them. But I looked at the prices and they weren't really that bad. Like they were on par with ABH and Benefit brow products. I actually can see myself repurchasing this. It's a very small, tiny tip, kind of like the Benefit Precise Eyebrow or the Brow Wiz. It's not as small as the Huda Beauty one, but oh, that was another thing I could have put in Huda. I really like her brow pencil. Well, too late now. Well, I also like that. So there you go. You got a 6 product from Huda. It's her bomb brows. They're really good. But this shade is like a perfect match for my eyebrow color. It just blends in so nicely. And because it is such a small tip, you can get like nice hair-like strokes. It wears all day throughout the day. And I'm really impressed with this. And that was it, you guys. That was my top 5 products from my top 5 brands. Thank you to Michelle Wong for this fun video idea. Like I said, I'll have hers linked down below in case you want to check it out. Let me know down below if you love any of these brands as much as me. These are just like some brands I just love, man. There's so many products from them, and a lot of these I had more than 5. I had to like narrow them down and only talk about 5. But let me know down below if you love them as much as me. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.